Well, hello again. I wasn't going to do a video on this. I thought it would be a complete and utter waste of time. I heard about it and then I thought, yeah, it's not going to be real, And then, 5 minutes worth of research showed me that the guy presenting these alien creatures has got a bit of previous, as they say in the police force, for this sort of thing. I had a bit of a look at the critter, and I thought immediately that, it's a bit odd. It's got a fair bit of detail. It's got a fair bit of detail on the face, but it doesn't really have detail anywhere else. It's got 3 fingers and no opposing thumb, so it wouldn't be able to build technology, wouldn't be able to build machines and electronics and go through an industrial revolution, a technological revolution, without the physical dexterity of an opposing thumb to be able to build those technologies. The other thing that springs to mind immediately is, just like critters on Earth, critters evolving on a distant alien world would have to go through an evolutionary sort of process, where they're going to have to be predators. They're going to have to avoid predators, just as we do, or we did. Actually, we do. Yeah. If you ever watch the news now, what sprung to mind immediately was the concave face. You've got raised edges around the face here, around there. Now, what is this going to do? This is going to limit quite considerably any peripheral vision. You need good peripheral vision to be able to avoid predators, and this critter is going to have pretty poor peripheral vision. So I don't think that's a likely evolutionary path for a technologically advanced critter. Its mouth does appear to be on sideways, as though it's sort of whispering something to somebody. It's just sidled up to somebody in a bar and is whispering, "Do you want to buy a slightly used flying saucer, mate?" It could have been it could be a military officer, of course, because there is evidence of a monocle here. Now, I saw this and I thought, okay, who's presenting? Someone at work said to me, he's got a bit of an interest in this sort of thing as well. I said, you've seen those aliens that have been presented to the Mexican Congress? And I said, well, presented by whom? What's the provenance of these alien bodies? Where have they come from? Who found them? And just a little bit of research tells me that, or shows me, that the chap that's actually presenting these does his best to look like a scientist. He wears a white coat, but he is in fact a UFO nut and a journalist, a UFO nut and journalist. Hang on, let's see what we got here. There's that one there, and that one there. I think this one here. Let's have a look at this one here. Now, this is from the ABC News, which is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Fortunately, unlike the British Broadcasting Corporation, we don't have to pay any licence fees for these guys. Mummified alien corpses presented in Mexican Parliament are not alien at all. Well, who would have picked that? Eh? Good heavens. You could knock me down with a feather. That's what a revelation. Now, we haven't seen their feet either. Why don't these aliens ever have underpants, with the alien equivalent of Kmart written on them, or anything like that? So if we just have a bit of a look here, it says two shrunken grey bodies were presented to a Mexican congressional hearing on Tuesday. Jamie Malson, a self-proclaimed ufologist, says they were found in Cusco, Peru in 2017. He's made previous claims. Malson's previous claims of discovery have been debunked. Now, I saw one article, and I can't find it to present it to you again, but it said that he'd actually got some human bones and some bones from a llama and codged them together and tried to palm that off as an alien. So this is not looking, overly credible, is it? It's I think there's a bit of room for doubt here. It's got a bit of previous for faking aliens. So let's just have a bit of a look at this. It says it has 3 fingers. I can't show you an image of the hand, but it definitely doesn't have an opposing thumb. It hasn't got much of an imagination, this Jamie Malson. And it says a long, slender grey body and a bulbous head. The internet might have you believe the answer is an alien corpse. The truth is not so fantastic. On Tuesday, Mexican journalist, I'm reading this through the camera viewfinder as usual, apologies for the usual terrible production quality, and a self-described UFO enthusiast, well, at least he's not self-describing himself as a UFO expert, as a lot of these people do, people that used to teach yoga and suddenly become UFO experts. Presented in 2 caskets in Mexico's congressional chambers during a hearing on unidentified flying objects. When the lids were lifted off the caskets, 2 tiny human-shaped figures appeared. I'd be very surprised if, I don't know, actually, could aliens be humanoid? I don't know. Musan, who has previously presented debunked claims of alien corpses, says these grey bodies are the corpses of 800 and 1,700-year-old non-human beings. Oh, okay, so they weren't a couple then. They didn't come from the same crash. But experts and much of the public are not convinced. Can't imagine why, really. I tend to think if it looks too good to be true, it almost certainly is, says Jonty Harner, an astrobiologist at the University of Southern Queensland. That's maybe University of South Africa with a name like that, but there we go. What else have we got here? I also tend to think if they look too human to be true, they almost certainly are not. Alien, yeah. Yeah, the experts might not be sold on Melson's declaration, but that hasn't stopped the would-be extraterrestrials from capturing the attention of outlets across the globe. Even 20th Century Studios, the studio behind Aliens, Star Wars and a torrent of blockbuster sci-fi films, has got in on the act. So why aren't these unusual bodies aliens, and how can we spot the fakes and forgeries from legit detections? Let's take a look. Well, first I'd be saying, well, if it was reasonable, if they were reasonably confident these were aliens, they would make samples available to any university on the face of the earth for analysis and confirmation. As far as I know, that hasn't happened. Extraordinary claims. The bodies were reportedly discovered in algae mines in Cusco, Peru, back in 2017. People really mine algae. Okay. I can affirm that these bodies have no relation to human beings, said Jose de Ginozulus Benitez, director of the Scientific Institute for Health of the Mexican Navy, during the hearing. But that doesn't mean they're aliens either. No, they could be codged together out of cardboard, paper mache, bones from this and bones from that. So he's wearing the, there is Mr. This is the guy that's tried to peddle the fake aliens before. Oh, here we go. This guy here. Wearing a white coat. Look at me. I'm a real researcher. I am wearing a white coat. Should also be wearing a tinfoil hat, I think. It says scientists working with the National Laboratory of Mass Spectrometry with accelerators at the National Autonomous University of Mexico put the bodies through a battery of tests, including an analysis of DNA and 3D X-rays. Expect an alien to have DNA. This is a good first step for confirmation. That's true, actually, because it might have human DNA, like the Atacama, that other thing Greer was peddling. I think it was Greer, wasn't it? Greer and Dolan peddling the Atacama alien. Completely human, of course, but is by no means equivocal evidence. This is good. The University of Mexico did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Of course, it was all made up, said Julieta Fierro, a scientist at the Institute of Astronomy at the NAUM. So this university is saying it's a load of crap, basically. Oh, hang on, what have we got here? Professor Ferrero, oh, she's a professor. Professor Ferrero also pointed out that carbon-14 dating, which was used to determine the age of the specimens, would not be useful if the creatures were from another planet. Their chemistry would be different, and another method required to analyse their true age would be required, presumably is missing. Lastly, she mentioned that getting an alien from Peru through customs to Mexico would be a rather difficult process. They probably just stuck them in the back of a pickup truck, put a tarp over them. Probably just gave them $50 and said they're full of cocaine, you know. These statues are full of cocaine. Thanks to the media attention, the university re-released a statement, first published in 2017, stating its scientists only perform carbon dating of samples provided to it and do not come into contact with the original specimens. In no case do we make conclusions about the origin of said samples, the statement read. There were some wild allegations made during the congressional hearing. Sounds a lot like the American congressional hearing, really, doesn't it? Including that 30% of the DNA in the samples were unknown and that one of the bodies has eggs inside it, according to the X-rays. Unfortunately, other experts have not been able to analyse the creatures up close and the data has not been released to the public. An independent analysis of the results would go a long way to confirming just what these creatures are, which is precisely why nothing's been released for independent analysis. Now we have a little bit of the provenance of this guy. In 2015, Musan, that's the guy, remember, the self-appointed UFO enthusiast, the guy in the white coat, led an event in Mexico that claimed to have discovered a mummified alien body. According to fact-checking website Snopes. The claim is false and it remains unclear if the mummy is simply a corpse or a hoax. He's told me many times that people from other worlds never visit me because I don't believe they exist, Professor Fierro said. Yeah, okay. And then it goes on to finding actual alien life. Now, I did actually Google this Melson fellow, whatever his name is. And what does Wikipedia say about this? You know, the conspiracy theorists say, "Oh, using Wikipedia again," and then they refer to Wikipedia in their videos, which is quite amusing. Alien claims. Mawson was involved in publicising a specimen dubbed Metapec creature, which later turned out to be a skinned monkey, as well as a demon fairy. A demon fairy. In 2016, which turned out to be the remains of a bat, wooden sticks, epoxy, and other unknown elements. In 2015, this is the same guy, led an event called Be Witness, where a mummified body claimed to be an alien child was unveiled. The mummified corpse was later identified as a human child. Yeah, I think that's the thing that Dolan and Greer were peddling. They ran with this, and I think, was it Gary Nolan, who surprisingly said it's not an alien. He's a bit of an alien fanboy, isn't he? And he said, no, this is completely human. In 2017, the same chap appeared in a video hosted by Gaia Inc., where a mummified body supposedly discovered in Peru near the Nazca Lines claimed to be a three-fingered alien was unveiled. Another three-fingered alien. Was this the same one? Actually, this is probably going to be the same one. So I think these two came from 2017, didn't they? And in 2023, September 12th, this is going to be where he unveiled the two alleged non-human beings to Mexico's Congress. Okay, all right. So, yeah, as I said, I wasn't going to waste my time with this. I think it's complete and utter. I think it's complete and utter nonsense, absolute drivel. Why would the alien want to smell more things to the right than to the left? And why is it whispering about selling a second-hand flying saucer? That's what I want to know. So what do I think? What do I think of this? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, really, what I think of it. It's complete and utter nonsense. It's a steaming pile. And my initial response, I think, could be summed up as well as my response anytime I see any of these articles about this sort of thing. Just like this. This says it all, really. As always, if you've struggled through the video all the way to this point, many thanks for watching, and maybe I'll catch you again.